welcome to Tune Into Wellness Today. My name is Lisa Marie Tersini. I am the founder and owner of a company called Inspiring Wellness Solutions. Inspiring Wellness Solutions specializes in natural wellness and healing. I am also a holistic health counselor and the founder of Tune Into Wellness Today, as well as your host. Tune Into Wellness Today's objective is to bring to you the myriad of natural wellness services, programs, and modalities available to you in the capital region and surrounding areas, as well as to introduce to you the providers that offer these services. We have 3 guests today, and my first guest is Mary Seiss. Mary is a licensed social worker. She is also an author. She also is known internationally as an expert in the energy field or field energy. She also teaches internationally the spiritual dimensions of healing and health. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
I'm so glad you are here. Mary, tell us, what is energy psychology?
Well, first of all, you have to understand that everything's energy. So really, everything's energy. Every kind of psychology is energy psychology, but energy psychology, we look at the energy systems of the body, or we use the energy systems of the body for psychological problems. So you're energy, I'm energy. We kind of think we're solid. We kind of like that idea that we're separate, we're solid, you're you and you're me. But if we looked at us under an electron microscope, we're both energy vibrating at a certain frequency, certain vibration, has a certain flow to it. And so energy psychology there's systems of the body. For example, in Chinese medicine, they have what's called the meridian system. And that's the system that flows the energy. It's like, I always think of it like train tracks, okay? And then sometimes people will hear of the chakra system, which is like the power centers.
Yes.
That's more of a Hindu or an Indian type of system. So we would use either the meridians, sometimes we'll use the chakras, or also you have a biofield. You have a field of energy around you. And then so an energy psychologist would take psychological problems and then use those fields in order to shift them.
And how does that work through like a tapping mechanism? How do you release that?
It's different ones. We would be working on a psychological problem. So we would be working on, say, for example, your belief about something, or a car accident you were in, or a trauma you were in. So we would be talking about that. And then we could either tap the energy meridian system with some eye movements. That's one of the methods that probably is the most well known around our area. But you could also use your hands, because your hands have chakras in them, and you could place your hand, with a client could do it, and place their hands above the chakras. And sometimes people who are very energy sensitive can sense where the contraction is, where the energy is stagnant in the chakra, and they can move the chakras like that. So you're trained. You could be trained in different ways. Other times, people who use maybe Reiki or something like that would smooth the aura, the biofield. But energy psychology is for therapists that want to use it for psychological problems. You know, there's other kinds of like energy medicine.
Of course,
you might use it for a physical problem. Now, we know there's no difference between a physical problem and a psychological problem, but, welcome to America. In Western medicine, we kind of like to separate things.
Well, we know that.
Yeah, exactly.
But many people
don't know that. But,
right.
But oftentimes you'll see with energy psychology, we clear up a trauma, and then somebody no longer has back pain, or they no longer have whatever was manifesting in the physical body.
Now, Mary, we humans all have belief systems. We think about ourselves a certain way.
Yeah.
We think about other people a certain way. Why is it we carry these belief systems within us?
Well, there's many different theories. I'm just going to look at it from I can actually look at it from 2 points of view. An energetic, and also because we have this physical brain that's kind of interesting. It makes us really human and think we're separate. So, but energetically, we get these imprints, these energetic imprints. Some people don't believe this, but before you come in with these energetic imprints, and then starting in the womb, you get imprints about whether or not the world's a safe place, whether or not you're wanted, are you a mistake, is there enough money in the house, is there enough money on the planet, is there scarcity here? So all this, and think about like when you want to go on vacation, you kind of check out where you're going. Well, so does the infant, okay? The fetus, the child is like, let's see, and you get the vibration of what's going on.
Great.
So what happens when the child is in the womb, and especially under the age of 7, you're like a sponge. You just take in everything that's coming in like a sponge, because children also under the age of 7, their mind isn't that developed enough to say, you know what, my mother's got a diagnosis, or my mother's got problems, or
So I'm rejecting this.
Yeah,
to be true.
we
This
can
is not-
discern. Children can't discern.
Right.
So like a sponge, the energy then comes in, and so energetically, it's like with us, which is why it's so hard to change them, because it's like I'm an adult. I know I have money in the bank, or I know blah blah blah, but yet I still feel like this. In addition, this is kind of scary, but under the age of 7, you're also getting programmed by your siblings, anybody who's in your environment. So if you called your sister a fat lard, like for years, or told her she was adopted, or whatever you told her, that's also imprinted into her.
Okay.
So we kind of should all be probably paying for the therapy that our siblings need if we were one of the older ones. I have a lot of siblings, so I can say that. But that's how we do it. That's one angle to look at it. From a Western model, our brains are in a theta state under the age of 7. So it's a very slow brainwave state, which is like the state a hypnotherapist would put you in if they were going to hypnotize you. So anything that's said to someone under the age of 7, especially in this theta state, goes in like a program. Okay, so that's why they get stuck in there, and that's why you would have to do something like hypnosis. That's why hypnosis works for beliefs. Or we can use these energy systems to activate. First, you would activate and talk about the belief and get the contracted energy you get about it, like I'm worthless, I'm stupid, I'm whatever you think you are. And then you would activate the energy system to begin to shift that, either with the tapping, or I personally do it with tapping or touch and breathe, one of those meridian-based methods. But any energy psychology method could do it. And there's other methods that can do it. It's just that talking about it doesn't work for beliefs, because we could ad nauseum talk about why we think we're worthless.
Sometimes it just reiterates it, because you're
exactly, and then if we go back to our Western model,
right,
you have neuropaths in your brain. So the more, it's like a sled going down the hill. The more you talk about it, the worse it gets.
Absolutely,
it's a faster path to that.
So this tapping or this energy psychology is helping people be released from old belief systems.
Yes. That's what it does. So an energy psychologist would activate the belief. We would have a conversation. You'd come in. You'd have a belief about, I don't know, say scarcity of money or lack. There's lack, for you, and we would activate this fear, this contraction, and then we would use these methods to shift them. And then we would put in the belief you wish somebody programmed in you. And so you can change all your beliefs, and you can reprogram yourself. That's why I wrote the book, The Energy of Belief. That's because I would work with people and clean up their traumas, that part. But then I realized they had these beliefs underneath them. And so if I could clean this up, but if I didn't get this, then a lot of times everything would just get recreated. So then we figured out a way to do it, to release beliefs. And then now you can program anything. It's like a computer, bad program, let's upgrade. You release that, and then you put the better one in. And that's how it works. And then somebody's life changes. Your life changes. That's how we know we really got it. It's not a lot of blah, blah. That's useless. We can all spin whatever we want to spin. But when your life begins to change, and all of a sudden you're able to do the things you couldn't do before, that anxiety that would have held you back, or that unworthiness energy or shame energy that, it doesn't make sense. Why do I feel this way? That once that's gone, you can just step into the fullness, the truth of who you are, the divinity that you are.
Now, you're a program director for Her Holiness Sai Mai,
yes.
right? Exactly, Transformational Healers program. Tell us a little bit about what that is.
That's an amazing program. I am blessed to be able to serve Her Holiness Sai Ma, who actually has been in the Albany area and will be in the Albany area on May 10th. And so in being with Sai and the teachings, we created a whole healers program. We have healers around the globe. It doesn't matter what they do. You could be a surgeon, you could be a social worker, you could be anything, Reiki practitioner, massage therapist, osteopath, it doesn't matter. But what Ma has taught us is the esoteric teachings about energy as light. And so it's all about, for the healer, those of us who are playing this role, many of us are way showers. We just came with a mission, a purpose, and so we get into this healing profession. Our souls are drawing us to that, okay? So what we teach you is how to be in alignment and how to raise the frequency, so get your frequency so coherent with the divinity that you are, that by law of resonance, when the client comes to you, you're able to take them higher. And then you're also able to recognize when you contract, how you have the exact same issue, and then of course you better clear that up so that you can vibrate higher. So it's all about the energy of the healer and raising your frequency very, very high. And then Ma assists all of us that are in this program, and anybody can be part of it. We have healers calls once a month. You can attend workshops with Ma. We have a series of amazing programs where you can just raise your frequency, raise your vibration with Ma. Of course, it helps us and teaches us, and your practice changes. Like you're able to just serve in such an amazing way the planet.
It's really beautiful. So, two aspects that I see is that this energy psychology can help people become unstuck, particularly if they were traumatized at a point in time.
Yes.
Helps people to calm down, because sometimes when we have belief systems about ourselves or those trigger points, that can cause anxiety in our body. This can help us calm down. And then the third aspect is that you're helping healers be better conduits.
Yes.
Better is a strong word or funny word, but improve their healing
a greater
abilities.
capacity. You have a greater capacity because there's only two energies on the planet, fear or love. So if you're contracting your energy, you're in a fear space. And when you're in this love space, it's your energy is expanded. And so then anybody who comes in your space, you don't even have to say anything. Although as talk therapists, we do feel obliged to say a few words. But really, it's the vibration that you have. It just puts out a field. And then the client comes. They have free will, of course, so they can not do it. I mean, they cannot come or hold on to what they're comfortable with because of fear. They don't want to let it go. It's okay. But it gives them an opportunity to, by law of resonance, then resonate with your field, and it shifts.
It's a beautiful thing, Mary. I'm so very glad that you were here today informing us about this. It's just lovely. I'm looking forward to learning more about it.
Thank you. Thank you, yes.
Thank you. If you'd like more information on Mary Seiss and the work that she does, you can reach out to her website at www.maryseiss.com. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Our second guest today is Howard Vicks. Howard is the founder and owner of a company called Medical Thermography Associates, located in Clifton Park. He specializes in the field of infrared thermal imaging.
Correct.
He's a sought after speaker, public speaker on thermography. He's also an expert in the field of medical thermography and a teacher. Is that correct?
I teach on a number of different levels, yes.
Correct. What is thermography?
Thermography is literally the capturing of heat energy off of a body and the mapping of that thermal pattern. And thermography can be used in a number of different applications, everything from buildings to horses to people. And what we're doing is we're using infrared thermal imaging for medical applications and medical diagnostic screening.
So how does medical thermography work, and how is it different than, Howard, from other imaging procedures?
Okay, again, we are all radiating bodies. We radiate heat. Heat energy is literally, it's electromagnetic energy, and the thermal imaging camera, we use a very, very sensitive digital infrared thermal imaging camera that captures, that sees that heat energy being radiated from the body and is able to map it. Essentially, you and I capture electromagnetic radiation in the visible light spectrum, and this hardware and software package converts it to an image that can be understood. The thermal imaging camera captures the thermal energy, which is a lower frequency of energy from the human body, and the software and hardware in the camera converts that to an image that we can see. How it's different, unlike other imaging modalities, X-rays, MRIs, CAT scans, ultrasound, they all look at structure. Thermography, because it sees heat, is seeing function, it's seeing physiology. So it's a real-time capturing of the condition of the body. And when the body is healing, when the body is fighting an infection, if there is angiogenesis, which is the development of a blood supply that a tumor requires to grow, there's increased blood flow. That blood flow shows up as heat. We can see that with the thermal imaging camera.
What do you see to be the biggest advantage of thermography?
First of all, it is 100% safe.
Okay.
There is no contact. There's no pain, no radiation. There is no energy that is imparted from the equipment to the patient. There is nothing that you have to ingest. Nothing is injected in you for contrast. Literally, it's capturing the heat that naturally comes off the body. If anything, you folks are radiating toward my equipment. And so you could have a thermogram done every day the rest of your life, and there is zero risk, zero side effects.
Okay. So let's talk about breast cancer just for a second, because you mentioned tumors. So we'll take a breast cancer. As if a woman had an opportunity to come in and see you, and you said to her, you have the 88% chance of developing breast cancer within the next 8 to 10 years. However, if you change your nutrition, build up your immune system, balance your hormones, we may be able to reverse the chance of having breast cancer. Or you can go without knowing that you have this chance of having breast cancer, and 8 or 10 years later have a growth, be diagnosed with cancer, and now your opportunities or chances are chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, pharmaceuticals,
Correct.
lost time, impact of your social life, potentially losing your life. Why would a woman not choose to have thermography? So you're picking that up well before it develops into a diagnosis, the tumor develops, correct?
That is correct.
Am I understanding? I just want to make sure I'm understanding that.
Essentially, your understanding is correct. By the time a tumor is big enough to be detected either palpably or by mammography, it's been growing for 8 to 10 years. We can see through the increased heat pattern, the vascular pattern, the blood flow 7 to 10 years before that tumor is palpable or detected. So what it is it is early detection. And the sooner that you can find out about something, that there's a problem, the sooner that you can take proactive steps. Steps like you described. One of the things that we can see with thermography is we can see lymphatic congestion. There is a correlation between lymphatic congestion and breast cancer. Lymphatic congestion can be reversed, and it can be reversed naturally. And so by early detection, it gives you time to make the choices and the decisions and take the preventative measures that can halt and potentially reverse the conditions that could lead to cancer.
65% of diseases can be avoided by healthy nutrition. That's a fact they're not coming up with. So in this case, you can get someone into a program right away and have them reverse those chances of whatever cancer. I just use breast cancer. It could be any. So what is your vision for medical thermography?
My vision, quite frankly, I think everybody needs to start with a baseline thermal imaging scan. And once you have that baseline established, we all have a unique thermal pattern. We all have a unique thumbprint. We all have a unique retinal print. We all have a unique thermal signature. Once you have that stable baseline established, that thermal pattern should not change over time. And if there is a change in the thermal pattern, that is an indicator that that something is going on in the body. And it's essentially a wake-up call. Something's going on, we need to investigate it and see what it is. And so it gives the patient and her doctor the opportunity to find out what's going on and then take steps before it becomes a disease that has to be managed.
So your vision then is to establish a protocol for this baseline and for it to be an accepted protocol?
We are a certified iScan HD medical imaging center. And in order to carry that designation as a certified center, we are using the best FLIR systems, best medical research grade thermal imaging camera. We are using patented, best-in-class medical diagnostic software. It was developed, actually, Dr. Chandler in Florida is a doctor of Oriental medicine. She developed the software. And it was developed by doctors for use by doctors. All of our imaging is done through Physicians Insight, which is an independent group of board-certified medical doctors, both generalists and specialists, who've been specifically trained in how to read and interpret thermograms.
Well, you've given me several benefits of medical thermography. Can you give me one or two more?
It's fast, it's easy, it's private, and it is inexpensive.
Non-invasive as well.
Non-invasive.
Right.
It's no contact.
And inexpensive is key, because when we think of expense, we think of financial expense.
Correct.
But I'm thinking it's also very beneficial from if we're not ill, all right? If we're not becoming ill, then we're not impacting our social life, our personal relationships, our career life negatively, correct?
Correct.
So there's costs associated to illness
Absolutely.
that are not going to be associated to this if we can get this, as you said, before it becomes a disease that needs to be managed.
It's early detection.
Love it.
It's early detection. But the other thing is that because the camera can see active inflammation, if there is an undiagnosed problem, if there is pain that they have not been able to diagnose, thermography can actually reduce the cost of healthcare by eliminating unnecessary tests, because it will pinpoint or certainly narrow down the area that needs to be further investigated.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can be used as an early detection and preventative technique, but it can also be used as an adjunct. Thermography has always been used and seen as an adjunct to, not a replacement for,
Mm-hmm.
other imaging modalities. There is no question that MRIs, that ultrasound, that in fact mammography are effective.
Of course.
However, do you need to subject yourself to x-rays every year as a screening protocol? You can have thermography, which is absolutely safe, no radiation, as a screening protocol, and you can start earlier.
So to wrap this up, if we could say one statement, I'm going to say it for you, is to the audience,
Okay.
go get a baseline.
Get a baseline. Get it
that be correct?
done. Get a baseline scan done, and from there, then depending on your age, your history, your particular condition, you decide how often to do the follow-up. We believe that it should be part of any routine annual health screening.
Okay. Thank you so very much for bringing this to the Northeast. This is fabulous, and to Albany specifically, Albany area specifically. If you'd like more information about Howard Vicks and the services he offers, you can check out his website at www.midthermography.com. Thank you, Howard. Thanks
My
for
pleasure.
being here.
Thank you so much.
Third guest today is Nancy Barrow. Nancy graduated from Adelphi University with her master's in social work in 2007, and at that time developed an organization called Peaceful Acres Horses. Peaceful Acres Horses is a sanctuary for horses, donkeys, and people. In addition, in 2010, Peaceful Acres Horses received the Small Not-for-Profit Award from the Tech Valley Association of Small Businesses. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you, Lisa Marie. It's great to be
It's
here.
great to have you. Congratulations on that reward in 2010. That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Thank you. We're 5 years old now officially, and that's a big accomplishment for any business. But as a not-for-profit organization, it's I'm really proud of what
You
we've
have done so much with Peaceful Acres Horses. It's amazing. I know, and I think many people in the community know, that Peaceful Acres Horses does amazing things for horses and donkeys. You save them. You save their lives
We do
from slaughter.
from slaughter.
Which is amazing. But you also are a sanctuary for people.
We are.
So can you tell me what qualities Peaceful Acres Horses actually offers people?
Okay. Well, I guess I'm a client, so I learned through my horses an awful lot, and they saved my life. So in 2002 and 2003, when I was having my own health issues, emotional health issues through a traumatic experience and divorce, and also just physical health. I was on a heart monitor. I had incredible joint pain at the time.
Sorry.
And I started to realize that as I was in nature and as I was doing more things with the horses, spiritually, physically, emotionally, psychologically, I started to feel more balanced. Because I had a degree in social work from Siena, I decided to kind of dig into it a little bit and say, what was happening with me as I was surpassing my own grief, loss, and trauma? Why was I feeling better in the barn? So I decided to commit myself to that and quit my job and go back and get my master's degree in social work. So as I did that, I also got trained in what's called Equine Assisted Psychotherapy and Learning through the Equine Assisted Growth and Learning Association. It's a national organization that provides training to mental health practitioners and also equine specialists. But to do the business correctly, I really needed to commit and go get that master's degree in social work. Mm-hmm. So I did.
What special programs are you offering then? You're offering an equine experiential learning program, correct?
We do. We've been working with kids, mostly teenagers, for a very long time. Oftentimes the kids are presenting with anxiety, depression, social and family stress and distress, grief, loss, trauma. Some of the teenage girls that certainly come to the ranch and their lives are transformed through their relationships they develop with the horses are deeply rooted in self-esteem issues, and oftentimes that comes out in behavioral control issues. And so what we're seeing in symptoms of our teenagers, especially the girls, is they are pulling back from their families. They might be acting out in ways that are very unusual for them, and they get referred into the agency either by a parent or a family member or by an agency or a therapist that they're working with, and they start working with the horses and their lives are transformed.
And how does that work? How does the horse actually help heal someone, a young teenager or anyone?
Yeah. I would say that a horse is a very empathic creature. They're a prey animal, and so they actually will mirror our behaviors in some ways. And as we become authentic and truly who we are and what we're feeling, so our fear might actually present as anger, but as we start to dig a little bit deeper and we start to release that fear or what society is telling us we need to hold, the horse becomes closer to us. The horse starts to trust us. So that as we develop that skill set to be clearer and more authentic with ourselves, we're able to surpass a lot of our grief, loss, and trauma. I mean, quite simply, these horses and ponies and donkeys become the friend that the participant doesn't have. Mm-hmm. It becomes the partner that person doesn't have, that they can confide in. The horse can't speak back, can't tell secrets. You can tell them anything. Mm-hmm. They will follow you along without a rope or a halter or anything because they want to be your friend. All you have to do is be a good leader and be true to yourself.
So oftentimes when people are traumatized, they lose trust. Yeah. Are these horses helping them to build trust back up within themselves and to trust other people?
Yeah, and the thing is all these horses are rescued. So some of what you see is horses that are coming out of kill pens where they've been, dumped. As you know, 170,000 American horses will be sent to slaughter this year. It's brutal. Now those horses obviously have had some form of trauma. They've been removed from their herds, which in and of itself is very, very difficult for them. They are herd family animals. But the horses that are coming out of abuse and cruelty cases, many of them at our place, are the best co-therapists that I have ever worked with. They're spectacular. Our clients that are surpassing breast cancer, grief and loss and trauma, domestic abuse, child abuse, they meet these animals and they hear a little bit about their stories. We don't tell them too awfully much, but they learn a little bit and they say, geez, you know what? If Hope could survive what she did, I can too.
Yes.
And they see that these horses become leaders and they're strong and they're confident. And people believe that they can too. And it's all about kind of mind over matter or mind over medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's beautiful. July 12th, 2014, we are going to have a Kick Cancer's Butt Festival at
We
Peaceful
are.
Acres. Tell us about
Oh,
that.
I'm so excited about that. My best friend is also on our board. Carol has been with me for this whole ride for 7 years of developing Peaceful Acres, and she was diagnosed stage 2 breast cancer this year. My dad was diagnosed this year with throat cancer. My mom was diagnosed a few years ago and had a double mastectomy. Cancer is just pervasive. It's everywhere. Another friend of ours that is living on the property now has been diagnosed with cancer. And, I got angry, okay? And I said to Carol, Carol, I am not the one to cook for you or bring you to your chemo treatments, although I have. I got to do something different. And I said to one of my friends, I took a picture of a donkey, a cartoon picture of a donkey kicking up, and I said, can you put Peaceful Acres Horses logo right on that donkey's butt? And that's how we came up with it. And so we are now going to do 2 festivals. They're wellness festivals. That money is going to generate funding support for scholarships for anyone who has a cancer diagnosis who wants to come to one of our wellness retreats. And I just figure it's better for us to self-fund than to rely on grants. And to work within our wellness community so people can find facilitators right there, July 12th and September 13th, of people that do the work like you do and like Mary does and other people to be able to facilitate improved health and healing. Even if we're using traditional practices, let's try and bring in some of the energy psychology work and nutritional support that helps our bodies to heal
Let's
even better.
co-practice together,
Yeah.
correct? You and your special friend Tom have a new program.
We do.
Tell us about that.
Oh my gosh. Well, Peaceful Acres really is meant to serve horses and people that are truly at risk. But then as I started going through more of my adult life of 48 and meeting more and more of my own sisters and brothers in and around my age, finding that there's such a pervasive amount of stress in our lives and we're taxed out and we're really tired. And I'm lucky. I live on a 156-acre rescue ranch. I can go take a hike in the woods. So Tom and I decided to develop a for-profit business that we could serve corporations, we can serve businesses, executives, the person that is not diagnosed with a mental health diagnosis or having grief, loss, and trauma, but is just really tired and would like to get away. We're doing couples retreats. I'm excited about that. As this business starts to grow, it's something that's unlike anything else in the Capital Region, offering equine guided experiential learning plus all the other modalities that I've been really blessed to meet so many wonderful people that do.
It is really wonderful what you and your entire team do. It's just magnificent. And I'm a huge animal lover.
Yeah.
So the work that we do with the animals alone is just amazing. And now you add that human factor into it. And it's a beautiful thing, Nancy. I'm not sure where you have all the energy to do what you do. But I appreciate you
Thank
for
you.
doing all that you do. Thank you so very much.
And thank you for everything that you do in our community, Lisa. It's
Thank
been
you.
amazing
You're very
to
welcome.
know you.
I love
Thank
you, sweetie.
Thank you.
If you'd like more information on Nancy or the services she offers, please go to her website. Thank you. Thank you all for being here today and watching Tune Into Wellness Today. I highly encourage you to reach out to these practitioners with any questions you may have for them. And certainly feel free to reach out to me, Lisa Marie at Inspiring Wellness Solutions, with any health, wellness, or weight concerns that you may have. I thank you. I love you. Until next time, be well, be happy, and be alive.